let's take this time for ourselves to get us some balance. And also, let's just take a little bit of time. We just had Thanksgiving, just to give thanks for what we have and what's in our life. And let's bring our hands up to heart center. And just close your eyes, tuning into your body and tuning into your breathing. Seeing how you feel, how your body feels, how your mind is. If any thoughts are rushing around in your head, acknowledge them, but let them go. The next 45 minutes is time for yourself. You've already done the hard work of getting here and getting settled on your mat. Let's take 4 more deep breaths. As we breathe in, breathing in lots of happy thoughts. And breathe out all that we don't need. Let's do 3 more like that. Breathing in some nice joy. And breathing out all that we don't need. And 1 more. And then relaxing your hands back onto your knees. Let's just move our body in a circle. Just giving a little bit of a stretch. Welcome, Julianne. Just moving around in a circle, just tuning into your breathing. And then going back the other way. And then let's place our right hand on the ground, bring our left hand over the top. And inhale and exhale to the other side. So in our practice today, our intention is to bring some joy in and also just be thankful and grateful for what we have. And then bring your feet out in front. Inhale, lifting your heart and your chest, and exhale, bring your hands forward and looking down towards your toes. And inhale, coming back up. And exhale, fold forward. Just getting a nice stretch down the back of your legs and your lower back. And then coming on to all fours and coming into child's pose. Taking your knees nice and wide. Bring your buttocks down to your heel and walk your hands forward, bringing your forehead down to the mat. As you wriggle your hips, getting down nice and low, opening up your fingers and pressing your palms down towards the mat. And taking some nice deep breaths here. Really surrendering into the pose, stretching out our shoulders and our lower back. Let's take 3 more breaths. And then walking your left hand over to the right side of the mat, putting it on top of your right hand and stretching out the left side of the body. And walk your left hand to the left side and right hand on top, stretching the right side of the body. And then coming back up to all fours. And let's do a couple of cat-cows. Inhale, lift the chest and lift your gaze. Nice arch in your back. And then exhale, coming into cat pose, lifting your spine up towards the ceiling and having your eyes either closed or looking through your knees towards your feet, stretching your back. And then inhale, lift the chest again. So just go your own pace, your own time. And as you do, notice the little movements in between all the vertebrae, just warming up the spine and getting some nice movement into your body. And then tucking your toes underneath. Inhale, lift up your hips, coming into downward dog and walking your heels down towards the mat, stretching the back of your legs. And then let's step forward with our left foot, coming into a lizard pose. So placing the left foot next to the left hand. And you can leave your right knee on the ground, or you can tuck your toes under on the right foot and lift the right knee off the ground. So you're getting a really nice hip opening here through the left side. And then let's inhale and lift our right hand up and opening up through the chest and a little more opening through the hip area. And then exhale, bring the right hand down, bring the right knee back down to the mat and swap our legs over. This time, bring the right leg next to the right hand first, tuck the left toe under and then lift the left knee up off the mat. And this time we're going to inhale, lift up the right hand. Just take a couple of breaths here and notice that nice stretch through the right hip and the left hip. Bring the right hand back down to the mat and come back to tabletop. And let's have a little flow coming between child's pose as you exhale, and then inhale, bring your chest forward and raise your gaze to an upward dog, and exhale back down again. And just keep flowing through, opening up the chest, opening up the lower back. We'll do one more round. And then tucking your toes under, coming back up to downward dog. And we'll take our body forward and come into an upward dog. And exhale into downward dog. Depending on how your wrists are, you can keep going between child's pose and upward dog if you wish. And let's go one more round. And then take your feet wide and walk your hands up underneath you and let your head, the crown of your head point down towards the mat. And take some nice deep breaths here. Slide your hands underneath your body. Heel toe your feet a little wider so you've got the weight on the outside edge of your feet. And just let your body hang upside down in this position. So you're connecting with the stretch down the back of your legs and opening through the lower back. And just come back to your breathing and come back to the theme of our practice, bringing some joy into our life and some just being grateful for what we have. Let's take a couple more breaths here. And then as you inhale, bring your hands forward, lift your chest and stretch your back. And then heel toe your feet a little closer and come up to standing. Give your legs a little shake. And from here, we're going to do some forward bends. So having our feet about hip width apart. As we inhale, we're going to lift our arms up, raise them above our heads. And exhale, we're going to bring our hands forward. You can slide them down your legs to support your lower back. And bring your hands down towards the mat. Allow the crown of your head to point to the mat. And then inhale, slight bend. And slowly stack the bones, coming back up to standing. As you inhale, lift your arms back up. And then exhale, slowly coming forward. Let's do a couple more rounds. And now coming up and stretching. Exhale, folding forward. And this time we're going to stay down for a few breaths, tucking our fingers underneath our toes. And just coming back to our center, checking with our body and our mind. Taking a few deep breaths here, reaching underneath your feet with your fingers. Lengthening out your legs. Let's take 3 more breaths. And then release your hands. And then inhale, come up, stacking your bones, coming up to standing. And bring your hands above your head. And let's stretch out to the side. Inhale to center, and then exhale to the other side. Let's do 1 more on each side. And then release your hands, give your shoulders a little roll. And then we'll come to the back of our mat and we'll do some warrior sequencing. So we're going to turn our left foot slightly out to the side, step forward with the right foot. As we inhale, raise your arms, raise your gaze and your chest. And reaching up nice and tall, imagine you're holding a beach ball in your hands and looking up towards the ceiling, feeling that nice stretch through the left hip flexor. Let's take a couple of breaths here as you reach up nice and tall. And then as you exhale, bring the right hand forward, left hand back, coming into warrior 2, lengthening through the hands, nice and strong through the right leg. And 1 more breath here. And then inhale, lift the right hand up, slide the left hand down your leg and reach up towards the ceiling, really stretching the right side of your body. And then exhale, bring the right hand down next to the right foot. If you have a block there, you can place your hand on the block, lengthen out the right leg and inhale, lift up the left arm into triangle pose. And take a couple of breaths here. Connecting with the stretch down the back of the right leg and opening up through the chest and the heart. And then exhale, bring the left hand down, place it on the block or the mat, and inhale, lift the right hand. So we come into a twisted triangle, gazing up towards the right hand. Let's take 1 more breath here. And then bring the right hand down to the mat and bring both hands behind your back, clasping your fingers together and lifting up through the chest into humble warrior. Stretching through the shoulders. 1 more breath. And then release your hands and come back up to standing and back to the back of the mat. Give your legs a nice shake. You might want to move your block across a little bit. So same on the other side. So turning the right foot out slightly, step forward with the left, and then inhale. Lift up your hands, raise your gaze, raise your chest, and reach up with that beach ball again towards the ceiling, and feel that nice stretch through the right hip flexor. And let's take a couple of deep breaths here, keeping it nice and strong through the left leg. And then inhale, take the left hand forward, right hand back, gaze towards the left thumb, keeping the left knee stacked over the top of the left ankle, lengthening through the hands, opening the chest. Take a couple breaths. And then inhale, lift up the left hand and slide the right hand down the back of your right leg, reaching up as high as you can, really reaching up towards the ceiling, stretching through the left side of the body. And then exhale, bring the left hand down to the mat and bring it just inside the left foot. Place it on the block if you have it. Lengthen out the left leg and then inhale, lift up the right hand, come into triangle pose. Gazing up towards the right hand, opening through the chest and connecting with the stretch on the back of the left leg. Let's take a couple of breaths here. One more. And then exhale, bring the right hand down to the mat, down to your block, and inhale, lift up the left hand into twisted triangle. That's it. Nice work. Feel the nice stretch down the back of the left leg. Let's take two more breaths here. And then on the next exhalation, bring the left hand down to the mat. And then both hands behind your back, clasping your hands. Lift your chest and try and lift your hands up off the back into humble warrior. Feeling a stretch through the shoulders and also the back of the left leg. One more breath. And then inhale, release your hands, come back up to standing. Good work. Give your legs a shake. Okay, let's do some balancing work. We're going to do dancer pose. So if you need to have something to hang on to, just be ready with that. Maybe move your block out of the way. So we're going to start by bending our left knee and bring our left foot into our left hand, like we're going to stretch our quads. And it's getting nice and comfortable with that. Find your drishti point. So you can stay here if you want, or you can take your hand forward and your knee back, lifting your left foot a little higher and reaching out, kicking back with the left foot. Let's take a couple of breaths here. Keep it nice and strong. And then coming back and release. Well done. Good work. Let's take it to the other side. So this time we're going to lift up the right foot. Bring our knees together. Find yourself a drishti point, and you can stay here if you wish, or you can kick the right leg back and take the left hand forward. So settle into your breathing, keep it nice and steady. And one more breath, and then come back. Well done. Give your legs a little shake. And then from here, let's go into a yogi squat. So taking our feet a little wider. And if you have a blanket, you can roll it up and put your heels on it. Just give you a bit more support. That's it. And when we come down into our yogi squat, so just see how you go. You can come halfway down and have your chest up, or you can go a little lower and use your elbows to press your knees out to the side. That's it. So just really opening up through the hip area. That's it. Just come back to your breathing, nice and balanced. Let's take a couple more breaths here. And one more breath. And then release your hands down to the mat and lengthen out your legs, coming into a forward bend. Allow your crown of your head to point down to the mat. And just let your body hang upside down. You might like to fold your arms and move your elbows in a little figure of 8. And then let's come down to the mat. That's it. Laying on your back and hug your knees up to your chest. And you might like to rock your body from side to side or roll in a little circle. Take your knees in a little circle here. Just massaging the lumbar spine, releasing any tension you might have in the lower back. And just circling your ankles. Coming back to the breath. And then placing your hands out from your shoulders, straight out from your shoulders with your feet up off the ground, knees bent. And we're going to take our knees towards the left side and look towards the right, coming into a twist. Try to keep your shoulders on the ground. So you get a nice stretch through the chest as well. Relax your knees to the left side while you look to the right. And take a couple of breaths here. Feeling that nice stretch through the right side of the body. One more breath. Just relax your body into the twist. And then inhale, bring your knees back to center. And exhale, take them to the right side. Look to the left. And allow your shoulders to relax down onto the mat. And relax into the twist on the left side of the body. You can use your right hand if you wish to just draw the knees towards the right, giving you a little bit more twist. Let's take 2 more breaths here, just relaxing the whole body into the stretch. Let the earth support you. And then on the next inhalation, bring your knees back to center and hug your knees to your chest, releasing any tension and rinsing out your spine. Let's bring our feet down to the mat with the soles of our feet together, our knees out to the side like a butterfly. And let's bring our left hand to our heart and our right hand to our belly. Let's take a moment to come back into our breath, come back to the theme of our practice around bringing some joy into our world, and also a sense of gratitude for what we have. Coming back to your breath and the rise and the fall of your chest and your belly. Just breathing in and out. Closing your eyes and noticing what you might see in that screen of your mind, as like your mind screen. You might notice some colors or some images. Let's take 2 more deep breaths here. So breathe in all the beautiful earth energy and breathing out what you don't need. And one more. And then release your hands. Bring your knees together. Bring the soles of your feet to the mat. And then hug your knees up to your chest. Rinsing out your spine. And let's place the right foot on the mat, left foot crossed over the front of the right thigh, and hug that up to your chest into reverse pigeon. Now you might be holding on to the left leg and drawing that towards your chest, or you can reach through the gap in your legs to the right thigh or the right shin. And then relax your upper back and your head back down to the mat. And let's take some nice deep breaths here. And tuning into the stretch through the left glute, the left ITB, helping to release any tension you might have in the lower back. Let's take 2 more breaths here. And then release your hands and let the right foot come down to the mat and swap your legs over. Bring the left foot down and cross the right knee across the front of the left leg, and then hug that up towards your chest. You might want to rock backwards and forwards just to get your body in the right position, and then reach up to either the right leg or the left thigh or the left shin, and then allow your upper back and your head to relax onto the mat. Let's close your eyes, come back to the breath. On each exhalation, try to hug that knee up a little closer and connect to the stretch through the right glute, the right ITB. Let's take 2 more breaths here. And then release the right leg, hug both knees up to the chest again, moving your knees in a circle or rocking from side to side. And then reach through the knees to the outside edge of your feet into happy baby. Lift the soles of your feet up towards the ceiling, knees bent, and just flatten out your lower back. Really stretching out any tension you might be holding in the lower back. You might want to roll from side to side or rock in a circle, whatever feels right for you. And then release your feet back down to the mat. And let's rock up to a seated position. And bring our feet out in front of us. Just inhale, reach up, and exhale, bring your hands down towards your toes or your ankles. And reach forward and just hold the stretch. Feeling that stretch through the back of the legs. Gazing down towards the ankles. Let's take a couple more breaths here. And then release your hands. And coming back up to sitting. And we're going to bend our left knee and bring the left sole of your foot next to the right inner thigh. And then inhale, lift up. And exhale, fold forward. You might come down to the toes or the ankle or the shin and let your left knee come down towards the mat. If your knee's sitting up high, you can place your block under it to give you some support if you need it. Let's take a couple of breaths here. And then release and change our legs over. Just lift your buttocks up off the mat so you've got a nice tall spine, and bring the right foot on the inside of the left leg. Lift up and reach forward. So notice how you feel. One side might be tighter than the other. Gazing down towards the left toes. And let's take a couple of breaths. One more breath and then release. Bring both legs forward, give them a little shake and lengthen up through the spine, lifting up your hands, raise your chest, raise your gaze and exhale, fold forward. And then bring your hands down to your feet or your ankles or your shins, gazing towards the toes. And let's take a few breaths here. Just noticing how your body feels now. You might feel a little bit more flexible in this position. Let's take one more breath. And then release your hands and come back up to seated position. And bring your feet together, soles of your feet together, knees out to the side. And lift up onto your sit bones. Using your elbows to press down a little bit on your knees. And from here, let's open up our feet like you're opening up a book. And just give your feet and your arches a nice massage here. A little bit of self-care for your feet. Just massage through the little tarsal bones on your feet. Using your thumbs. You don't often do this. And then lengthen out your feet in front of you, nice long legs, and give the legs a little shake. And from here, we'll go into our legs up position. So you might like to come into a shoulder stand or supported legs up, or bring your legs up the side of the bed or the wall, whatever works for you. So on the next inhalation, lifting your feet up. And give your ankles a nice little circle. Going one way and then the other way. Your legs a little shake, so they're feeling nice and light. Supporting your hips with your hands and having your elbows make it like a little pyramid, so you're up nice and tall, feeling supported in your legs up position in your inversion. Let's take our feet out wide. And settle into your breath. Closing your eyes and coming back to the theme of the practice. Bringing joy in and being grateful for what we have. Being grateful for this time together. Raising our vibration and raising the vibration of everyone around us. Let's bend our knees and bring our soles of our feet together, out like a butterfly. And then inhale, lift your feet back up in the air again. If you're in a shoulder stand, you might like to take your feet over your head towards the floor behind your head and let your hands drop down to the mat. Into plow pose, stretching out your back a little more. Let's take one more breath here. And then on the next inhalation, slowly lowering your spine back down to the mat. And coming into your Savasana position. You might have your knees bent to support your lower back. And just allow your body to settle into the mat after all the movement. Have some stillness now to relax and enjoy the energy that you've cultivated in your yoga practice. If you've got a blanket or an eye pillow, you can put that on yourself just to relax in for the next 5 minutes or so to enjoy your Savasana. tuning back into your breathing and noticing all the contact points of your body on the floor without opening your eyes, visualizing the floor, the walls, the ceiling, and the windows of the room that you're in. Starting to stretch out your fingers and toes. And gently rolling to one side when you're ready. And resting on your side, taking a few more breaths. When you're ready, opening your eyes and coming into a comfortable seated position. I've got a little Rumi quote for you today. Set your life on fire. Seek those who fan your flames. Let's bring our hands up to our heart center. Giving thanks for being together and enjoying our yoga practice, relaxing and balancing our bodies and our minds, raising our vibrations together. Bring our hands to our forehead for kind thoughts and to our lips for kind words and to our heart for a kind heart. Namaste. Thank you for your practice today. Thanks for being here, being together. How's everyone feeling?
Right.
Very good, thank you.
Ah, good. It's nice to
Tassie
have a little.
very good. She has a move.